Let's see. Uh, uh, Jeez. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. Wait for a couple people to get in. Brad the Master. Hey, today's video. Um, I just kind of want to talk about some sales pitches, some ideas. What I wanted to do is I texted a couple guys, but they're kind of busy. The idea was to kind of play a part, like I play the customer, and I'll give you some objections. And so if anybody wants to do that, I kind of just want to work on the sales pitch. And I figure I'm over here working it by myself. Why not reach out to y'all? Y'all are some friends. Y'all are good people. Y'all know what it is. Just kind of, I'm just trying to get set up, just jumping on live. Text, like I said, text a few guys trying to see what it is. Let's see. I want to practice against selling against anchors. Some of the anchors that we come across. What are some common things? Common things to say. Well, let me. I got to talk to my husband. I got to talk to my wife. I don't know. That seems a little bit expensive. What else is another one? I got a couple wrote down. Uh, I don't know. Let me check my bank account. I wasn't ready for that. I can get that done way cheaper. Uh, and these are kind of across business platforms. This isn't set to only washing. This isn't set to only uh what else? Uh Mowing grass. This isn't set to any of that. So that's kind of something I want to talk about. I also wanted in this today's live, I kind of want to talk about marketing, different marketing ideas. Let's see, different marketing ideas like what if let's say you live in an area. Well, let's use my area for example. Within 20 miles of me, it's Huntington, West Virginia is the main city. There's about 200 to 300,000 people within 20 to 30 miles. So there's a ton of people in this area, which is great. And there's a lot of pressure washing guys, which is even better. That's what I really like. But there's a lot of yard signs. So if I just put up another yard sign, I'll just be just another yard sign. So I need to find a way to market to get out there and be a little bit better. What's up, Jeff? Oh, they're dirty right there. So I'm gonna see if people can't get up. I'm gonna turn this light off here in a second. I'm still getting situated, and it's still early, but I just want to practice. Like I said, just want to practice a sales pitch, and I want to work on overcoming the obstacles and selling against the anchor. I think Grant Cardone wrote a book, "Selling Against the Anchor." Been listening to a lot of Zig Ziglar. Who else? Brian Tracy, "No Excuses." Been listening to a lot of these books, and it's kind of got my mind working. Like, yeah, I'm a moron. So let me turn the side off. Let me get kind of situated, and we'll see what's going on. I also want to. I'll put the link up here in a second. Give me a minute, and just kind of give people time to come in and all that good stuff. All right. Let me try to find the link and all that good stuff. Let's see here. It's definitely something I want to do. I wish I have you guys in here to kind of bounce some ideas off of. Paste. Okay. Been a while since I've used the old fashioned StreamYard. Y'all know what it is. The ultimate patch is not having one. See, okay. See, that's a great point. And but how does that work? Like I'm not and when I say sales pitch, I don't mean sales pitch as in like, here's my script, here's my whatever. It's just when I think sales pitch, I think having as soon as you get a call, ring ring. Hi, this is Julie over here in Westwood. How much do you charge to wash houses? And I say something if I have my sales pitch ready, something I've been working on. Hi, I can. My name's Jesse. I can help you with that. That's not a. Can I ask you a few questions? And go into something like that and kind of. You don't know what it is, but I guess let me turn this down. It kind of seems a little loud. I guess not having a sales pitch would be interesting too because you become personable and I guess you let your work sell let your work and let your reputation sell itself. But for someone who's not necessarily super my man, one love. So there's a link in if anybody wants to come up and kind of like bounce back and forth with me and y'all know what it is. So but yeah, like you're right. Natural f natural flow is yeah, I agree with natural flow being the best too, but sometimes over the phone is my big thing's over the phone because I get a lot of people, let's see, "Bing, bing, bing. Hi, this is Jesse, Jesse's, outdoor, services. How can I help you?" "Yeah, I got a house. I need you to, how much y'all charge me to wash my drive?" I say, you know, what I would normally say up until what I've been working with is I normally say, "Yeah, man, just, I'd like to come check it out and see it." But, you know, with the way I can do all that from Google Earth, and I guess this I'm kinda just struggling with it. Um, and that's kinda part of it. It's ki is, you know but what I normally say is, "Yeah, I'd love to come measure it out." Normally charge about 18 to 20 cents a square foot. Whoop, whoop. How long has it been clean? But I wanna start curtailing some of my questions like, "Hi, hey, yeah, good question. Let me ask you a few questions," and like, I was watching, Jason Guyman with pressurewashhelp.com. He's got a bunch of podcasts out there, and he had a sales guy on, and, that sales guy did a really good job. That sales guy did an awesome job with what he was comfortable with selling tires, and he was able to box the phone call in to only take questions that he was wanting to it was a ah, I don't know how to perfectly explain it, right? He was able to say, "Yeah, I can help you with that. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?" And those few questions would be leading him to a place he wanted to go. But some of them sales guys who are just awesome, and I'm just not that super good at sales yet. But you know, I utilize my resources. I talk to my friends out here in lawn land, out here in Wash World. I guess I can learn from you guys. You guys do it every day. I'm trying to do it every day, and that's kind of what it is. Utilize your resources, but you go with what best works for you. That's true. Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Float's over here getting all upset. He's about to get to SmackDown. Yeah, I know I agree with that. Go as works best, but I'm trying to find something just feels kind of comfortable sounding as high. Like, what do you tell somebody when they say, let me ask my," I would rather almost not close the sale. I'd just rather like get it locked in on the schedule. Yeah, I can get you an early as the week from Friday. And so, or say, they say, "Hey, well, that's awful expensive. I'm gonna have to ask my wife about it." One guy called me that, well, I've been getting a lot of phone calls here lately from, "Hi, I see your Google business is not." Yeah, shout out. One guy called me from Minnesota, and I think he was a small business guy. I think he was starting a business, and, he was asking me a lot of questions, and he cracked right at the end, right when I was trying to get his address and trying to get it locked in and where to come meet him. He's like, "Man, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm trying to start my own business, and I'm just trying to see what the prices are out there." I said, "Hey, dude, I totally get it. Something I've never done, but, uh, I appreciate you call me back. We can hang out. Yeah, talk to me anytime." I don't know. Where is he? There he is.
What's up, man?
You didn't ditch the kids for me, did you?
They're off in La La Land, and Pierce just fell asleep. So I'm like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, that's a. I don't even know if I'm lagging real bad. Everybody's playing Xbox in there. My kids, I just had to run them out of here. The other ones, and I got the nephew staying tonight, so it's like kind of psychotic over here right now too.
I was wondering if I would too, because this my MacBook died. Actually, I just ordered another one a little while ago, and I'm on this old Chromebook, which the Wi-Fi little whatever version of it's on this thing. It sucks balls.
Yeah.
So
See, I just broke my thank God I got my MacBook going, but my Chromebook was just horrible. Like I sat a couple books on top of it and the screen just I don't know. Like I do it with my MacBook all the time. I just put a few books on top, stack it up, move it around. I did that with the Chromebook and the screen is totally shot, which that's what Kayla uses for her she uses that for her Cricut, and we was gonna like we made a little logo and was gonna like just put the little vinyl phone number on the side of the truck, but I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to use the MacBook, which I don't like no one touching my computer. I'm kind of weird about it.
yeah, I feel you on that one. Can you hear me okay? I don't know what mic I'm hooked up to. Okay, cool.
I think, yeah, you sound really good. Sounds like the mic right in front of you. That was really good.
I didn't test it out. I just jumped in. So, oh shit, I gotta change glasses, man.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, like, and Float's right. Go it feels best, and what you said, don't even have a sales pitch, and that makes sense too. But you see what I was trying to talk about as well. Like
I do. I think the easiest thing, especially if you're on the phone, here's what I do. You know, they'll say, "Hey, it's Janet at 121 Cannon Street, and I'm looking to have my house pressure washed." Okay. I usually come by and look at houses, especially in big houses or in custom built neighborhoods. That's my MO. I can come by whatever time it is, blah blah blah. Give them a time frame, and then my next thing is the house the only thing you're interested in? Do you want your walkway, sidewalks, driveways? Is there decks that need to be done? Is there gutters? What about your roof? And typically they'll say, "Oh, just the house." Some people are specific and do want their driveway as well, but usually if they are, they'll say it up front. But what I do is say, "Okay, that's fine. I will do you need to be there for me to come give you a quote?" No. Or just text me, because there is a dog that's typically in the backyard. We'll make sure he's put away. Okay. I'll go there. I'll walk it over. If they're not there, we'll use this scenario as no one's there but me. I walk around, obviously gather up my information, come up with my prices, and I price them. I give them a price. I never quote anybody on gutter cleaning because I don't want to do it to begin with.
Yeah, I'm thinking about totally getting away. I hate it too.
Most landscaping companies and stuff will do it now, and they can have it. But I'll always include anything else. If there's a deck, I'll give them a price. If there's a driveway, I'll give them the price. If the roof looks like it needs to be cleaned or is approaching that, I'll give them the price. And the best thing to do is if you really want to be collecting good info, whether that client uses you then or not, tell them you'll email them a quote.
Yeah, because I've been using QuickBooks. I love QuickBooks. It's one of my favorite CRMs.
That's what I do too. But whatever you can do to gather information, you've got their phone number, and now you've got email. That's constant contact. Anytime you do anything from this day forward, they're in that list to send out to. I don't do much of that, but I would say that I agree with people that say that is the best approach to.
You think email's dead? Email campaigns like hey, you got your email.
I think it is dying. I do not check emails unless I'm expecting something.
I have like multiple emails. My major email is just I never check it other than if I'm really expecting it, but I have like two special emails that no one knows, like, few people have, but like my major email goes on everything, you know what I mean? And that's what I give to everybody pretty much.
Yeah. I think so, but with your older crowd, they're still going to be checking on it and stuff. They typically do. I would go so far as to say, and a lot of people will, I can hear the world blowing up if they're listening now or listening later. Websites are dying for industries like ours.
Well, hear me out here. I had a website. I was paying my GoDaddy thing. I stopped it at last year after the baby was born. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do business. I took the coward's way out. But anyway, after the kid got a little older, my emotions got in check. Here I am trying to start another business. But I didn't re-up my GoDaddy thing. I just linked it right to my Facebook. and I'm
Yep.
still ranked third in Ironton. Ironton's not a big town, but if you just, but here's the weird thing is it's
I'm
not
ranked number 1 in 3 cities, and I
right.
don't have a
And that's what I'm
website.
working on right now. But like I just now started adding pictures, so it's like there's a ton of pressure washing guys, which is like I said in my video. That's a great thing. I'm not worried about their prices or anything like that. I used to be, but I think it's awesome because there's yard signs on every single corner. And I look at it and I say, every good professional homeowner knows that they need to have their general maintenance done of getting their house washed. That's a great thing for my business. That's awesome. But I don't think for my marketing campaign, I just don't want to be another yard sign. So that's
Yeah.
another way I'm trying to, not really the blue ocean strategy type. I'm not trying to do that yet, but I'm just like saying, how can I stand out different instead of just being a yard sign? Maybe I can just throw a gutter cleaning signs up. I don't know. But like I've been hitting heavy on Facebook, and it's still a little early in the season yet. But I don't know. I'm just wanting to stand out, be a little bit different than everybody else.
And you know how you do that instantly?
What's that?
Person to person.
Okay,
I
knocking
don't care
doors.
where you're going, what you're doing. You're selling a house wash.
Right.
Make sure anybody and everybody knows what you do. Those are your quickest, fastest abilities and places to get business. I don't care if your business is mobile, whether it's service industry or not, that's the best way to get it. And I've heard all this for years. This pre-YouTube, you got to have a website. You got to have this to make it today in today's society. Blah blah. No, you don't.
Right.
If that's true, then us that are my age, even the old guys like One Love, we would have never made it in indie industry because the shit didn't exist.
Right.
But
it sounds good. It's easy to sell SEO courses, and it's easy to sell.
It's very easy to sell.
And I'm not knocking that hustle. Do what you need to do, what you feel like you need to do. Cool. But I don't feel like SEO work was that hard. I mean, a few years ago, I talked with you about a lot of SEO work and geotagging and different things. It was fairly simple.
There's a lot of people that'll tell you they can do it bigger, better, and faster. But here's the thing. Google this, everybody, if you think I'm kidding. SEO is dead. It's not now, but because of AI, it's going to go away.
Okay. Elaborate if you could. Wait.
It's over my head.
Okay.
To be honest with you, but because of the way that Google is going to start doing things, your SEO is going to be buried. They're going to look at algorithms and AI as to how often there's actual interaction on your websites, on your picture views, and AI is going to narrow down who's closest and who's been responding the most to things. It's not SEO will always have some importance, but no more than you don't need to overkill it because Google is going to be replacing that shit. It's going to be the cassette player to the CD. Right.
So you think if you build a website right now to kind of link with your GMB, which GMB is changing, have you been on GMB in a while? Like if there's no app on the phone, it's running through maps. It's totally different. It's which is fine.
You click on your own ad to get into your GMB.
It's weird. So I was thinking if I built a website, maybe I should just use the free Google thing or even build it through Google instead of GoDaddy. I'm just not really sure,
Well, you hear that a lot too, that, don't use Wix or anything like that. Those sites suck. If you're actually paying attention to your website in any remote, but I know people with Wix sites and other stuff that are ranked very high, and they don't pay a whole lot of attention to it, but they're posting regularly. It's more about what you're feeding to your GMB than you are to your website. Trust me. Feed the GMB, post pictures on your Google My Biz, work that, screw the website. Because here's what I do now. I mean, and everybody's known this for a while. I go crazy on Instagram. And if anything asks for a web address, I just copy the link to my Instagram and put that on there.
Right. Yeah, I see you with your Instagram. You've been doing somewhat ads and different things on there. I seen that the other day. It looks really good.
And when it comes to landscaping, it rarely does anything. I've never marketed the landscaping, with the exception of now, because I'm marketing the pressure washing to a minimal degree. And so I just throw that up there as well. Why not? And, I'm in still to only be 4 years into a town that was never in and never knew anybody until 4 years ago. Right. I'm still throwing myself out there. Whereas in Charleston, I literally know everybody that is anybody. So it was never necessary. But now it is, so that I get to know people or people get to know me. And like I said, it's worked very well. I've never run a Facebook ad. Right. Actually, that's a lie. I ran one in the very beginning for the pressure washing, and that was it. But Instagram for the pressure washing has gotten me all my not all, but most of my very high ticket jobs came from there.
Yeah, like she's burning that clutch up.
If it wasn't word of mouth, the odds it was Instagram are pretty good. Yeah,
the word of mouth is kind of where it's at, and that's what I've been. Pretty much everybody I work with I've been bugging them, and I say, hey, I cut you a deal. I work with like the guy I just posted a video on washing his house. Normally it's a $300 house wash, it for $200. Took pictures all day long. Normally it would have took me forever, but man, I love that X-Jet. But it atomizes, and I wore it. But I can't wait. I'm set up with my 12 volt. Set up with my 12 volt system. I'm really excited about that. My big dog washer thing, my big dog surface cleaner. And it's not, like I said, it's not about the equipment, but it's my self-confidence and I feel a lot better going somewhere with the equipment to match I don't know, maybe that's something that I still need to work on as well, but hey, I just loaned my business a little bit of bread and kind of felt like it needed to be done.
Well, that never stops, man. Hey, right. Jose Marquez has a question down there. Last thing there, if he's still around.
Yep.
You've always got to feed the beast. And no matter what beast you pick, whether it is a website, whether it is Google My Business, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whether it's in-person stuff, when you're out personally socializing, not social media, you're out doing things, or it's total peer based, whether it's word of mouth or what, you've always got to be feeding the beast. Even word of mouth, you have got to make sure that the people that you've done work for and love your work remember you, especially when it's pressure washing. You're not there every week like in lawn care or every other week. It's once a year. And so if you do a really good job, they're going to remember you, but especially for the first little bit, couple seasons or so, they may go, I can't remember the company's name or his name, but when I get home, you see what I'm saying? Now they've forgotten. And they just move on, because it was over a couple of drinks at the hall during some event, but if you're there on Instagram or even Facebook and it's always out there and they're following you, then they'll say, yeah, hold on, I can find it real quick. Here you go. This is what you do. Same holds true for Google. But what I'm saying is you've got to, whatever path you choose, whether it's all or one, you've got to keep pushing it so that people remember that you're doing it. It's like with landscaping, every time I see people that I have done work for, I make sure I tell them about the latest project that's going on. Just dropping nuggets,
Just keeping
them
in the loop.
Yeah, so that when Erica is down there playing tennis or their kids are at the pool with Samantha, they start talking and it's like, oh yeah, you got to use this guy,
Yeah. And that's another thing too with finding who you want. Like here's the thing is I just give up a couple lawn accounts and passed on a few lawn accounts. And that was hard for me to do because I'm one of them guys that I'll take any job, every job, low ball, high take. I don't care. I'll take it all. I broke but I told myself not this year. Like, you can have all the lawn accounts. And the guy's like, man, I'll pay $50 to cut it. It's a small yard. I said, dude, listen, it's a guy I work with. He's a landlord. He's like, I got a bunch of rentals too. And I said, look, here's the thing. What if I miss out on my house washing? I don't want to mow grass. That's my thing. I don't want to mow grass right now. It's not what I want to do. Not profitable
both
for me.
can be done, but it's very hard because of that, because you have to allocate specific days, like Monday and Tuesday. And Saturdays I'm going to house wash, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I'm going to mow lawns. But as one grows, it's going to squish the other one unless you've grown into crews. You see what I'm saying? It's it's not easy to do. It's no is a hard word for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it was hard work for me for a long time, but where I've kind of like, I got the luxury of having a 56-hour-a-week job to where I can, I can get,
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, you've got a paycheck coming in. Say no to anything you don't want to do. Right. You're not strapped. You're not worried about making sure you've got peanut butter and jelly Saturday night, Right.
And I didn't do that last year, and I got aggravated and fed up and lost a bunch of money. It was just the nonsense. And that's what
you'll wind up doing, especially in lawn care. You'll wind up doing a bunch of shit that in 3 months you wish you weren't doing.
Right. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. It was all my own mistakes. And I seen it all coming. I posted a video about 8 months ago and just so aggravated at myself because I seen all this coming like a train, and I let it hit me like a moron. And I'm out there in 100-degree weather cutting for damn near free. I'm going
to ask real quick, is Jose, are you still in here? Because I'll give you an answer if you still are. Probably ain't the one you're looking for, but I'll give you one.
Uh-oh.
Billy Bob, what are you doing, man? And where'd Float go? Did we run Float off? Is he scared?
I think he's scared. Yeah, he might be thinking M. Linton's coming in here, so he got scared. He's been quiet here lately. he knows. Oh yeah, he's still
Jose.
Here.
Here you go. It from me and for most anyone, that should vary from job to job, just like pressure washing. How many square feet is it? How much grass is there versus how much landscape? Are you only mowing? Are you mowing, edging, fertilizing, trimming the hedges? How many hedges are there? Are you mulching? You got to take all that into account. It's especially if it's an all-in thing. If they want you to be a one-stop shop, and you're mowing, you're edging, you're trimming, you're doing the mulch. There's a lot to consider to where I don't want to say you should be given price breaks, because break might be a strong word to use. But if they're going to use you, I don't know where you are, but say 9-10 months out of the year, and mulch, once or twice a year, then, you kind of want to be a little nice to them. Not by much. And it also depends on your education. What's your abilities, man? Do you have a lawnmower and the necessary equipment, and you're just going to jump out there because you know how to push a mower? Or do you know something about turf and plants? Dial in down there on my questions, and I'll help you out a little further.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And that's kind of like that. Yeah. There's I made a lot of mistakes, and I just didn't listen to anybody for the longest time. So if Jose wants to not make the same mistakes I did, just listen to these guys. I was selling prices for where I was at right now, and I wasn't able to grow any because I wasn't charging for what I needed to be charging to able to have better equipment and able to maintain my equipment. And it's just don't make the same mistakes.
Jose's got some experience.
He's got the experience. Yeah.
Well, for being there for 14 years, do you have any idea of what this is? Is it, I mean, like you say company, is it like a one crew, for a small operation or a large corporation? But either way, you don't have any idea what your, who your employer was. I mean, not who they were, but what they were charging. I've got some numbers up here. I'm just trying to pull some info out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for his response too, because I'm sitting here thinking he's I bet he's got a really good idea about. But then again, you want to have a non-compete thing, or how does fancy companies work
Screw
with?
non-competes. Non-competes are
Hey,
almost,
I'm with you. I'm just saying, I don't know. I've never
I know,
worked for a
but they're
long-term
almost
guy.
100% illegal. Nobody can stop nobody can stop you from working those things.
Okay.
Unless you're a multi-million-dollar company and you hold some trade secrets, they will never stand up in court ever.
Say he's a former guy. He don't know the prices.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me close this door so the dog doesn't come back in.
Yeah, as a former guy, like I said, I never worked for any crews. I just went out here and fell on my face a bunch of times, so I started making some money. So I think he has his own idea, but just find out what you want, man. Like, but that's a shitty answer. Like, what I always felt was a shitty answer was,
what does
know your
former
numbers.
guy mean? What is former guy?
That's a good question. Maybe he quit or he got fired.
Yeah, you mean like you did it years ago and you're stepping back in? And if that's the case, here's what you do. Next question. Who's your customer? Are
Right.
you looking for anybody right now because you're going to jump out there by yourself, and so whatever brings in bread, you're going to go for it, or are you looking for a certain clientele? And if that's the case, either of those are the case now, what's your scenario for 3 to 5 years down the road? I'm just helping you think. I've got answers for you. I'm going to try to help you answer it yourself. But I can't answer it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Find out who your videos on Instagram with your other account, Indigo. You can tell you're talking to somebody else. You're talking to your target demographic. You're not talking to me as where I live in my area. And that's okay because, it is what it is. Like, even if Jose, you go out in business and people start saying, ain't no way I'd pay you whatever. It's like, that's okay because you're not who I'm talking to anyway. You know what I mean? You don't value.
Yeah.
You're not selling mowing grass. You're not selling washing. You're selling the time that it takes, and you're selling pride. That if your home is your biggest investment, why in the world would you entrust it to some Tom, Dick, and Harry? Like, well, you want a true professional up there. It's going to maintain it. Going to do a good job. Your stuff's going to be safe. That's what they're selling. They don't want to climb up on a ladder. Bill's not going to climb up on a ladder, break his back to clean a few leaves. No, he's not going to do it. He'll let the professional guy do it on the street, and if they'll pay. He's paying for it. You're paying $200-300 to get your gutters cleaned. I would never pay someone. That's me. I'm not nobody's target demographic because I'm never going to pay someone $200-300 to clean my gutters.
I will all day long.
Right.
I'll pay $200 to cut my grass if I don't have to.
Right. See, I would pay someone $100 to come do dishes half the time. See, that's just
See. Everybody's got their breaking points. All right, so Jose he's got his mower, trimmer, blower. You've got a dethatcher and an aerator as well. So I'm going to guess by saying that, then you kind of know what equipment you need to do a proper job, and you know what you're doing. Who's your target client? What is again, are you looking for anybody and everybody right now, or are you looking to go for, the $1 million homes or something below that, something in between all that? Do you have like professional work shirts? And I don't mean like a t-shirt or anything, but well, I guess it can be, but something with, where your company is branded and identified.
Residential is what he's wanting.
Residential is the smart move, but who? Is there a lot of, not a lot, but is there a decent amount of wealthy people around you? Is that who you want to go after? And can you go after them now?
There's a website like Energy Justice or something like that. And it will show you in an area to where the median household income is per like county /
Jason Guyman showed that last week.
I've seen that.
you can go by that, but the funny thing is that isn't worth a shit around here because we've got
Is that
every
true?
house around. It's true, but in some places it's a very misleading, especially here and anywhere along the coast, because I would say now that the cheap houses around here are $500,000.
Well, that's not, yeah. That's not
And that's literally for something that you probably can't even live in. It needs to be completely gutted, torn down, or renovated or something, all the way up to tens of millions of dollars. But the confusing thing is if you look up around here, the average income, I'm going to take a stab and say it may say $70,000 to $80,000 when it's not true, because these people that own these 10, 12, $18 million homes and down, 80% of them aren't full-time residences. It's their second or third home. So they're not filing their taxes here. So their income doesn't show up here. You see what I'm saying? Tahoe, California. So you got some regulations going on too, but you've obviously got some money around you. And I'm going to guess that's who you're shooting for. Jesse, you're muted if you don't know that.
Yeah, I muted him because he was,
okay.
I'm Jesse, I'm this, hi. And I was just like, nah, I just didn't want to bother everybody while you were talking.
Jose, do you, I'm going to ask something again, because again, I'm trying to give you avenues to figure it out, because every place is very different. I mean, typically, I'm just going to say this, your average cut price is around $50. That seems to be a universal number for, eighth to a quarter of an acre. If you're just doing what I consider janitorial, mow, blow, go, and edge. But, and that's just for average Joe's lawn, it's hard to say. I would never charge that low.
Right.
But that's because
that's where
of my experience.
40, $50. I'd be there all day.
It's the requirements of the homeowners around here. It's my education level. I'm not going to come in and do a basic mow, blow, and go. Never have. I started my business in 1996. And here's the thing, actually before that, it's kind of about a year before that, but it was formalized LLC in 96. I was a DBA before that. But anyway, it's, I kind of forgot where I was going for a second, but I've always gone after, I came out of the gate with a lot of knowledge. And experience. By the time I graduated high school, I had run survey crews. I had driven dump trucks. I had operated it and efficiently and proficiently operated every piece of heavy equipment you could ever imagine. And I've had enough of a horticulture education by the time I went to school for horticulture that my professors even said I could teach most of the classes. But it's because of family history and business. And so I immediately targeted, and you can too. It sounds like you've got a lot of experience. That's what I'm trying to get at. Demand a higher price. But if you can, ask some people that, be bold enough the first few, if just ask them what they've previously been charged.
Yeah.
Be honest. Say you're new to owning a business. You've done this for 14 years.
Right.
You took a hiatus. Now you're back, and ask somebody that you could see may be genuinely honest. And if you're, if you're talking about people middle income and up, and they've got nice cars in the yard, they're probably going to tell you what they were paying. And if it sounds like a good price to start off with, go for it.
Yeah. Any of the commercial jobs that I had whenever I was mowing as Black Fork Lawn, every commercial account was like, this is what we pay. Do you want it? And I was like, okay.
Commercial
sure.
accounts, especially apartments and stuff, they'll tell you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But figure it out. Ask them. you know, somebody says, "Oh, we were paying $40," and you look around, the yard kind of looks nice and everything, and you know, you can kind of tell they're full of shit. um, they always lie to me on price. Okay, okay. So if you know they're lying, then you know it's worth more. So you feel that you're more valuable. Okay, so you do have some sort of understanding. So if it sounds like you have a good, you do snow removal. Okay, yeah, I guess so, up in Tahoe. Go with your gut then. Are you jumping in this full time with zero backup? Like I said, your back's against the wall. It's time to make some money, or do or you got some backup money or another job that you'll stay at for a while?
Yeah, if you got a job, don't feel like you got to listen to all these guys. Oh, go jump into business. If you ain't doing it now, you're never gonna do it. Hey, ain't nothing like. I get
actually before you go in that direction. What are your responsibilities in this world? You got kids, wife? Are you by yourself?
That's a big difference too. Yeah.
Because I jumped in with $100 bill in my back pocket.
Yeah.
I was like, shit on it. But I didn't know the world a dime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes a big difference. That's a good play. But there's a lot of guys who can make it, and some guys can't make it unless their back's against the wall. Then they blow up a huge successful business. They just needed
and I knew that was me. I knew I couldn't pussyfoot. Right. I knew that if I kind of stepped in, I'd get tired of it and walk away from it. Or right. Or maybe the exact opposite. I would jump off too soon. But if I knew that I needed to come up with $1,000 by next Friday and I don't have a job, I'll get it.
Yeah. That's funny when you talk about like money. Me and Kayla was talking about it. I said, I just want to just this year, just kind of keep it slow. I want to focus on the factory work, but I also want to get off work and go do a couple houses, be washing a house with 3 houses a week, $300. I want to make about $25,000 this year. And if it more than that, great. But that's if I don't make more than that, I could consider it a failure. Now, she's like, man, that's a lot of money. And it sounds like it. For a side gig, you're only doing a few, but I just broke it down. I was like, no, dude, like, the average price is like $300. And if I do that, find out who I want, I showed her some neighborhoods. We did some driving around, and it's once she's seen it by then, she's like, oh, well, she just thought pressure washing wasn't going to be as good as lawn and landscape. Cause she's seen the money that I was making mowing grass prior, but now she's starting to see what I was talking about. Like, all I got to do is market. All I got to do is get out there and hit the pavement. That's all we got to do. It sounds odd easy. I can sell you a pipe dream, but me and her hit the pavement today. Was just kind of drive around looking at neighborhoods. And hey, my goal is her to only run I want her to take all the sales. And they say women can close all the sales. So I'm like, well, you do it.
They can.
Yeah.
It's a certain characteristic that mostly women have that make it very easy for them. It's not necessarily just, they're cute and pretty and identifiable. There's other things at play, but you drive a taxi. I'm guessing that's enough for peanut butter and jelly. And if it is, and that these people are, not telling you the truth, that whatever number you have up here that you're worth, that's over and above that, go for it. If they're telling you it's, $50 a cut, and that you believe that you're worth $80 on that cut, and you can explain to them why you are with your 14 years of experience and everything like that, then give them that price. The more no's you hear, the closer you are to a yes. That's a true statement. And you're also not pressured to go out there and take anything and everything. Approach the high-end clientele. Go for them. Spend your money. Here's an easy way to do it. If you don't have ways to get into gated communities or anything like that, EDDM. Spend the $1,000. I promise you'll make it back real fast. I've never used them, but I don't know anybody that hasn't made their money back with it.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't pulled the trigger on yet.
But what you're talking about, Jesse, here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand is it's like The number one thing in lawn care out here, it seems to be the past couple of years, is everybody loves to announce when they've had $1,000 plus a day, 11, 12, 13, 14, $1,500 a day. And you look around, and on top of it, that's their gross. You've got to take out the 7, 8, 9 yards of mulch. You've got to take out the 2 employees with it, plus the equipment they had to buy to get there, plus depreciation, plus fuel, plus insurances, and anything else and everything else overhead you could think of, plus the taxes on the back end of it. You look at it, you look around, you take all that out, and you're like, you made $300 or $400.
Right.
I can go out there, and in 4 hours, I can make $1,300, $1,400 for under $110.
Right. Yeah. See, well, I actually found that I save money by buying my bleach at Walmart. And everybody's like, you got just buy bleach, get your gallons. Hey, I was going to the pool store and getting the 12.5%. Look, for me right now, where I'm at washing houses, I like the 10%. And I'll just buy them by the gallons because it's like $4.90. It's like $5 even for a gallon. But when I go to the pool store, I don't know. I'm still looking for a better bleach supplier. But dude, you're not.
Dude, I walk
into
Walmart and Home Depot all the time and buy my bleach. I don't give a shit about that. Everybody goes, you got to be professional and go to a pool store. No, I don't. It's not much cheaper. Not around here. It may save me
you're getting a stronger mix anyway, and I kind of.
But it doesn't go much further by 2%. You're not stretching it that much more. And by the time you travel to that pool store, is it further away than those gallon jugs were?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So how much fuel and time did you burn up going to get it?
Right.
And I also don't care about it. Like I said, my average ticket is way over $1,000, and I'm going to spend $40 in bleach versus, if I'd have gone to the pool supply store, it would have been overall, it might have cost me $30. What do I give a fuck about that $10?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I love about washing houses. And like you're talking about $1,000 a day, like that's easy to do. You just got to line the houses up. And like I said, you drive around my neighborhood, there's so many Bandit signs everywhere. And that's why it's kind of like trying to figure out better ways to market my business, because I just don't want to be just another yard sign. But it's working for people.
Here's where I have the privilege, Jesse. I am my own client. I am within their brackets when it comes to the bills.
Right.
For the most part. They may be.
Right.
I'm in that realm. I would never call anybody off of a Bandit sign, and I know they wouldn't either.
Right. That makes. I've never called it. I don't even look at them. Well, I look at them now just because I'm like, oh,
right. As a matter of fact, you can't even put them. You come around here, you can drive as far as you wish, and you'll never see a Bandit sign because they actually enforce the law around here. These people don't want to see them. They're trashy.
Right. Yeah, they are trashy. They're all over telephone poles. No one weed eats around them. The city doesn't, or they get mowed up. So it looks bad.
And anybody that sees them, I could promise you, their instant thought is that I can pull up in a pickup truck with no signage, no nothing, no equipment in sight at all, and I'll promise you, I'll close the deal all day. I don't put anything on my trucks so that I can go to the dump without having to pay a fee.
That's smart. That's really
That's the only reason I never really logo my stuff up is because. And I was going to logo up one of the trucks, and just to have it around, because this is what I did in times past, and I would keep the other one around for dump days or whatever. Hook shit up to that truck with no logo on it, so I could go to any dump it, and be gone. But then I sold that truck and got an SUV, so now I could pull it. That damn Armada will actually tow 9,400 pounds. So. But I don't know that I want to drive it to the dump.
Yeah, I can't blame you there. But yeah, there's
exactly
a lot of money washing houses.
Exactly what Matt said. Fuck the peanut butter and jelly. And Jose, if you can pay your bills, and you're stepping in on this, go for the steak and shrimp, Bubba, and don't ever look back. It'll happen. It may be slower. You may have to maybe sometimes where you're scratching your head, but do you want to make $400 in one stop, or do you want to make, $400 in 10 stops? The less that truck is running, the less time you're on the road, because you said just a minute ago that there's a lot of distance in between each one. And I get that, because it can be that way around here, especially if you're chasing the money in the beginning, because you may get 2 or 3 in this really nice neighborhood, then you got to go all the way across town to this nice neighborhood, blah, 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 in the beginning. And so just charge what you feel you're worth. If you've got some knowledge and you can express yourself, but nail it to the wall. Where most people are asking 60, and that's on the upper end, charge them 80. What do you have to lose?
That is, yeah.
God almighty. Am I here?
What is so when you're taking phone calls, like I'm sure you still get calls, even though you ain't got the signage and stuff, just for you've been in business for so long. Do you have people come up and be like, oh wow, I didn't really think it was going to be that much? Or with the people you're working with, you probably
Every
don't have
time.
to deal with that much anymore.
I've never not heard that.
Okay,
Never.
so
And
you're still.
I would.
Well, how do you get past them objections then?
I literally, and this is where you've got to stand firm, and you've got to have. You can't have any fake confidence. You have to, people, especially people with money, you can sound as confident as you want when you look at them and tell them a price, but they'll know if it's bullshit.
Right.
Because there's a certain tone that comes across with confidence that knows they can show you some experience, or it's a phone call away from proving your point to another client, versus somebody that's just got the balls to be confident. There's a different tone in your voice. I just look at them like, I don't give a shit. My clients, my regular clients, like that I use, that I do a lot of planting for like annuals, perennials, or come back for multiple things for whatever reason. Many of them will tell you I'm an asshole. They love me like there's no tomorrow, but I don't pull any punches. It's like, okay, say I'm planting, I don't know, 20 flats of annuals for them in the spring. I'm doing a lot of that now, so it's an easy analogy. Say it's $2,400, and they're like, well, so-and-so, and you hear this all the time. People use this analogy, and it's true. So-and-so, was doing it for $1,200. Call them back. Bye.
Right. Now, is that something you say? Yeah.
But you did such a,
oh,
but you did such a beautiful job at Sophie's house. A beautiful job has its value.
True.
If you want your yard to look exactly like what it looked like last spring and the previous 10 before, I got to go. But if you want it to actually look good, we can talk further.
And just keep it just like,
and then I shut up.
Just like that. Yeah. Wow. See, that's where I would fold. Like, see, my problem is like, yeah, I do it for $400. Well, and then I would probably fold like, well, okay, but that was going from I needed the work versus letting my paycheck kind of carry my bills. That's where I'm not
back up.
Still working as much overtime as I can work, and I just, I'm not going to overload myself this year. So that's why I don't really care this year.
The other infamous thing is, do you offer any discounts? No.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, if you've been with me for 5 years, I probably haven't raised rates on you. So over a time period, you acquire simple, small discounts. But out the gate, I'm not giving you a discount. I don't know. I don't even know if you can ever going to pay me yet. What makes you think I'm going to give you a fucking discount?
Yeah, here.
You want me to say, yeah, I'll give you 20% off now for you to, once you sat there and watched me reel the hoses up on the pressure wash machine and load everything up, and then you come down the steps and say, well, before I pay you, what about that brown spot that's still up,
Yeah. That
basically you're unloading again. That's worth $200 just to unload again right there when you're in the driveway.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm glad I'm getting hose reels, just so I don't have to deal with a lot of it. And you still before we get into Matt, do you still run the 0G garden hoses? Ugh.
No, I've got Goodyear hoses. I mean, you can. I just haven't. Um, they I because they seem to not do as well with my pressure.
Okay.
I'm not going to go above the 5.5 gallon minute machine that I have, because no matter what, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I can hook up to a garden hose. And an 8 gallon minute machine doesn't save me much more time. I've run the numbers, I've run the time, I've tested it out. It's a little bit faster, but again, when I'm making $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 at a stop, I'm not worried about the next 10 fucking minutes. Who gives a shit
Right.
about 10 minutes? I'm already spending all day there. Why do I care about the 10 minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna just kind of my plan right now is just kind of move the dipsticks back and forth, or I thought about just bringing two hoses, bringing the batch mix hose, and then having 100 foot or whatever and 150 foot of freshwater
Right.
hose straight from the house. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
carry two
Well,
hoses
that's what I was
around.
getting at. The zero G you could wind up, they collapse.
Right. That's why. Yeah, it seems easier, faster. I can save money on it versus getting another hose reel. Which if I have to, I have to. If not,
But with mine, I get scared of that, because that's what is supplying my pressure washer can collapse. It's not supplying a buffer tank. You see what I'm saying? That's
right?
why I
Okay.
stopped
Yeah.
using them.
Okay.
And,
So if you were just supplying a buffer tank, it's not that big of a deal.
I
Right.
would
But when
use
it's
them.
right, but it's feeding the heart and soul of the whole system. Now, I checked out that video that Power Wash or Freedom Power Wash guy and his systems that he builds. That's what you're going with? Is the systems that he builds from his
I hope he watches this, because I got something to say.
uh-oh.
No,
Really? Okay. Bad?
I don't have any ill will against him. Just something didn't add up, and nothing against him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, because I mean, I talked to him several times, and I talked to him before because the X6 that I've had for a long time, I got it because I saw one of his rigs that Ray Montero, I believe his name is. He hasn't done videos in a long time, but had it, and I took a screenshot when he kind of glanced over at the pump real quick to see what it was. And of course, I'm somewhat mechanically inclined. I can figure out how to make that work. And I saw how he, the flow that thing was putting out. I was like, I got to have one of those.
Right.
And so, Jimmy and I had talked after I got that. I think he saw one of my videos. Maybe I commented on one of his asking a question. I don't know. But I just got the feeling that the guy thought that I was like going to get one of his systems and start copying them or something. It's like, what the hell, dude? Because, I said, I called him, this was a month ago. And because I was trying to just order it on his website, and
Right.
I can't remember, I wanted something different, and it wouldn't let me, it didn't have that option on the checkout. Oh, it didn't give me it wouldn't allow me the option to not pay shipping. He's up here in Spartanburg. I got to almost drive right past his house to go to my property. So I was like, I'll just pick it up, and screw the $300 in shipping or whatever it's going to be. And so I called him and we got on that. He's like, okay. And so he said, I'll email an invoice to you this weekend. I was like, all right, just let me know when you're ready to do that, and
Right.
get the info to you. The weekend came and went. It's like Wednesday the following week, and I was like, hey man, I said, you ready to send out that estimate yet? And he's like, oh, I sent it out, but the email bounced back. Here is my first little trick. I was like, I don't remember giving him my email address.
Right.
But maybe I did. But maybe I did, but that's not a part of a conversation that will stick to me. I was like, maybe I did and I forgot. Okay, I was like, well, here's the correct if you got it wrong, this is it. And by the way, add that little mechanism that allows me to hook up the gas pressure washer to that and get me 14 gallons a minute. He's like, all right, man, I'll get that to you. A little while goes by and hadn't heard anything. I don't see any emails. I'm like, Jimmy, I don't see anything. You can send that, or have you sent it? Nope, not yet. Very, very cut off, nope, not yet. Okay. So I waited a little bit longer. I still never heard from him. And so I bought it from, and And I didn't want the X6, which was, it's like $800 more for that system because I have one.
Yeah.
And so I bought the ones that are the double sevens, which you basically wind up with the same thing, maybe a little bit less pressure. And
But do they don't pump simultaneously, or do they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's 14 gallons a minute at the tips of the pump. You wind up getting about 8 gallons a minute at the tip.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so somewhere around 7 and 8. And so I was like, just send me the sevens. And I was like, when they die, I'll either buy a new X6 because I've got to have. I cracked 2 teeth back here, had them pulled, and now I got to spend $8,900 for implants for 2 little teeth back here on my molars. And I was like, dude, surprise, I was like, I'm going to go for the one that's, $800 cheaper. I can add my X6 if I want to, or keep it just as a rinse pump.
Right.
And then when these fail, I'll buy an X6 and just plug it in because it's pretty much plug and play. And I don't know. I feel like he got suspicious that I was trying to figure out what he was doing so I could do it. It just kind of got ghosted. So I called Texas Pressure Washing. I didn't call them. I got on their website because they sell the exact same thing.
So you just went with them guys?
I looked. I was like, this is going to suck because God only knows what it's going to cost to ship this thing to coastal South Carolina from the middle of Texas. $75. I was like, shit. Purchase.
Yeah.
And so
I can't wait to see the new system. I can't wait to see the new system run. Yeah. Hey.
That's $3,000 that was out of his pocket,
Yeah. Hey,
it is. And if he wasn't suspicious of me for some strange reason, I'd love to know why lollygagged on it, because it's like, dude, I don't have time to play around, if at least tell me this, if it's gonna be 2 weeks before you have the parts in or something, or 3 weeks, tell me, fine, I'm fine with that, but don't just not keep in contact.
Yeah, that don't make sense. Well, yeah,
something's not adding up. So I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I know better than to hang around with people that don't make any sense, so I'm just moving on over here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I reached out to I got Kentucky Wash Pros, a guy that's he's southeastern Kentucky, and I'm trying to get him on and try to talk to him. I went back and watched some of his videos from about a year or 2 years ago, and he was just a normal, middle class guy, and just starting out with a.
Sorry, who are you talking about? I'm sorry, I was reading Matt's comment and I didn't hear who you're talking about.
Kentucky Wash Pros. And he has a really nice set, all within a year. He's done great, and I'd like to get him on the show. He's not too far from me to where it's like he's really good. He's a good channel to watch too. He's really good over the Fresh Rents is actually another good channel too. Them two, I think, are kind of talks, but a lot of them guys run them AR-45s and stuff, and that's just something I just now getting into the 12-volt game, so. I have a whole. I ordered an AR-45 2 years ago. Maybe it's three seasons ago, about 2.5 years ago. Right before I ordered the X6, because that's why I ordered the X6. But I ordered the gas washer because that was the new game in town. Well, because of COVID, you couldn't get your damn hands on one. And this is right at the beginning of all that shit when we were balls deep in it. And they were like, well, we're about 8 to 9 weeks out on these things. I said, well, it says you have them in stock. Well, sorry, we don't. Shit. Yeah. And that's when I discovered the X6 looking around for alternatives. And Ray just happened to drop a video. And so I went there, but I'm glad I did, because all the troubles I hear out of those things. And, if I was doing big commercial buildings, gas stations and things like that, I'd probably have one. Right.
But if you're doing residential, and I don't care if you're doing 6, 7, 8,000 square foot home, you're wasting chemical with those things, man. That's too much going out that you can't step down from. You see what I'm saying? If I took what I'm getting now and had the ability, like I could have had if I'd ordered through Jimmy or been able to hook it up to the my 5.5 and get 14 gallons a minute, I would have done that for rinsing only. I would not have
keep
had
these guys
that.
talking. This baby's crying. Keep
Okay.
going. I'm sorry.
Okay. And I wouldn't no. Anyway, I forget what the hell I was talking about. Shit. No, man, I don't use any hot water, man. And what I was saying was if the system I was using when it was combined, I could cut one off and use regular a normal supply, 7 or 8 gallons a minute off of 12 volt, and I could even dial that down and go down to one of the pumps and be at 4 or 5 gallons a minute when applying the chemical, and you're not really wasting anything. When you're, 14 gallons a minute, 9, 10, even 8 gallons a minute, you're almost wasting product because it's just splashing and bouncing off of the surface. You're welcome, Jose. And figure it out, man. Sounds like you've got a lot of knowledge from oh shit, sorry, I didn't see that up there. You've got a Kubota tractor, and you said you had a dump trailer or a dump truck up above that, man. Shit, dude, you can do anything, man. Just get out there and do it. For that tractor work and stuff, dude, I'd be at $100 an hour all day long, if not more. There's a lot of people, maybe even 150, really. There's a lot of people out here that'll do that kind of work for half of that, and there's no way in hell you catch me doing it for that low.
Yeah, he started.
But
going
Matt,
nuts
heat's not really necessary unless it's really bad grease problems, build up in concrete and things, and chemicals have gotten very quickly to where that'll rectify the problem most of the time as well without having to use heat.
Yeah, I'd love to get a heated system, but I think those are kind of getting a little blown up nowadays. But I'm not really going after. I'm not going after gas stations and things like that. It's not really what I'm trying to do.
That's where when you get into diesel fuels and stuff that can soak deep down into concrete and stuff, that's where they're applicable, and that's about the only place they're applicable. Commercial parking lots too.
Yeah, it seems like the good money there, but you can make so much money on just washing houses. And I don't want to get into a lot of that other stuff. I'll let the other guys have that.
No, you can have all that nasty ass work for, what I call competitive bidding money, which is, subpar, in my opinion. I'll go right over here and wash a couple of houses.
All right, well, I'm going to jump down here. We've already been over an hour. I'll reach out to you. Well, I'm going to talk to you at the end of the week anyway. I'll talk to you later on. I bug you all the time, so I appreciate you coming on here, man.
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
You in the chat, guys.
Peace.
Whoops.
Wait a minute.
Now my phone's ringing. All right, later.
Later, man.